here with your art fill of the week, and this week I am going to give you a tour of my library of art books. And I mentioned this in a previous video where I was touring my art studio, and I mentioned I would probably do a separate video to go through all of these. So if you haven't checked out the studio tour, I'll link that above. But let's go ahead and look at this art library. The studio cats are doing their own exploring in the closet because they don't get too often. I was trying to think of the easiest way to do this, and I think I'll just hold the books up against this white door. So first up, we have a watercolor guide on how to watercolor. And next we have the two pencil method by Mark Crilly. This one I haven't really delved in a whole lot, but keys to drawing with imagination, strategies and exercises for gaining confidence and enhancing your creativity. And next we have a rather heavy book. It's The Art of Overwatch, the different concept art, and that's just for Overwatch 1, the first one. I know now it's Overwatch 2, so it's different. We have a kid's storybook, The Mitten by Jan Brett, because I really love her art style, and this was one of my favorites as a kid. And we have a actual creative writing prompt book. Then we have Fantastic Ornaments. This is a copyright and royalty-free illustration book that you can use any of the images and redraw them. And going with that same theme, we also have a nautical version, nautical illustrations that are royalty-free. And we have a pictorial archive of medieval arms and armor, and a fantasy art technique book, and then another art book, The Art of Zootopia. So this one also has the concept, character art, and different scenic art as well. Then I have these from a Kickstarter that, if you're familiar with Charlie the Unicorn, that's where this same illustrator and animator made those books. And then I also have the first off-sale comic. This is also assigned by the artist. So I just really love the art style, and I personally am not good at drawing humans, so it's nice to have something to aspire to. And I guess I have a writing journal randomly in there, an artist marker pad randomly in there that I should probably keep with my sketchbook stuff, and I have a coloring book in there. I have a geometrical coloring book, How to Crochet, another coloring book. Then I have a digital painting beginner book, and a super old, I got this from the Scholastic Book Fair in elementary school, How to draw manga. I have a more kids style how to draw. This is also another old how to draw, drawing animals. And from my theater days, I still have my stage makeup book, First Step to Step stage makeup, and the drawing and rendering for theater, which I think some of these theater books I actually have a video on that I did previously going through them. Now moving on to the second shelf, few watercolor books, watercolor landscapes, and a trace and paint watercolor. Then I have another fairy tale book with illustrations that I got while visiting Staunton, Virginia. It was one of their used bookstores. Liked the illustration style. Then we have a cartoonist's big book of drawing animals by Christopher Hart. I think in this next shelf you'll see a lot of Christopher Hart how to draw books. I don't even know if you can buy this anymore. Bailey J's book, who's a popular art YouTuber. Then I have Manga for Beginners by Christopher Hart. Drawing Cutting Edge Comics by Christopher Hart. Like I said, this one seems to have a lot of Christopher Hart on it. This is also a this is probably as old as the manga one I said I got at the Scholastic Book Fair. This is also one of my very first how to draw books. I have the Animator Survival Kit back when I was gonna try to learn animation. Still haven't gotten the hang of animation. Then another popular art YouTuber, Jazz's drawing book. And I have a fun dragon drawing book. I think I got this, yeah, so I got this in St. Augustine, Florida. I think it might have been in the Ripley's Believe It or Not gift shop, or like near there. Another watercolor. This one's rather large because it comes with the full set. Has the book and then the full set of watercolors, which I don't even know if they're usable anymore. I had an old sketchbook on there. Another Christopher Hart Figure It Out, which is an actual workbook for doing anatomy. Another inspiration, a Middle Earth Traveler book with illustrations. There's a cat visitor helping. So it's all sketches for the movie, basically. And I have the Artist's Guide, which is more of a business book. Then another theater book. Character costume and figure drawing. A pencil drawing. How-to tutorial book. A couple other super old, very first how to draw books. How to draw dogs. How to draw cats. How to draw horses, which is also part of my very first drawing books. Constructive Anatomy. A series of the same type of how to draw. So there's Dragons and Fantasy. Realistic Textures. I have a Color Theory. And Flowers and Botanicals. And I have a random origami book. And the final book in my shelves is another artist business book. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour of my art book bookshelf. I was able to organize my chaos a little bit after going through all these. If the studio assistant can get out of the way. I organize my inspiration type books, like my actual art books, art of books, on this side right here. And then I have some of my drawing, how to draw tutorial books and stuff here. And then the rest I organized over here. So thank you so much for going through my bookshelf with me and helping me organize. And let me know if you want me to do more in-depth with any of these books. Like if you want to see me try a tutorial out of one of these, let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching.